Blah.
The satisfaction for me, I didn't want to make movies. I same way. I didn't want fame. I didn't want fortune. I wanted to make movies. You know what I'm saying? It's like
I do know what you're saying.
It's the satisfaction of the creative process.
Yes, yes.
And then there's the satisfaction of communicating your work and having other people react to it. You know, and
Sure.
and when things go right, that's everything about it is satisfying.
And what's interesting, the things you're describing are not, isn't it interesting how, like, you know, some people like seek out money in life. They seek out, like, there's so many things to seek out in life, but this idea of something that's like done primarily for either fame or for money, like this notion that there's actually a third option where it's literally like, I have these ideas in my head and I want to will them into existence and I want to share them with you. And the catharsis of somebody else receiving my work and understanding what I intended. It's like, I can't tell you how much I understand that. I can't even begin. Words do not describe how much I can relate to that. And we live in an age now, you were talking about technology, where, you know, I realized I was like, because right now things as the technology, here's the sad reality of today for today's filmmakers, myself included, who've been trying to chase the puck. We've been trying to chase the goalpost, and the goalpost keeps moving every time you reach the goalpost. It's something has changed. It evolves so quickly, and distribution is non-existent if you're an indie right now. It's never been more exciting time to make a film, because you literally like can make a film for a couple $1,000s, a high concept, low budget film. It happens all the time, and you every once in a while you find one that's really, really great. And you can own your work. You don't have to deal with a Michael Lee. You can be your own Michael Lee. That's not crazy.
Except, you know? I mean, I can just intercede here. I mean, a lot of this has brought about, like, essentially, I mean, I've never had a great affection for film distributors. And
yeah, sure.
A lot of these micro budget films that are being made, they're being picked up by various sort of semi-legitimate little companies who are, and some of them are actually some pretty big companies at this point, who are essentially, and they'll put this in the contract. Essentially, it's like, oh, here's where we make money for as long as we have possession of your film, and there is no possible way for you to profit.
I believe you and I are actually, I know that you and I are in the same club, and you know what I'm talking about. Online, there's a space where these things are discussed, these matters are discussed at great length.
Oh, well, yeah.
And you know, it's a really great place because there's a lot of resources to enlighten oneself. And the reality is, and you're absolutely right, and that's what I was that's what I was going to say, is that the best way, if you're going to make any kind of money, the best thing that you can do really at this point in time is hold on to the movie yourself and put the movie out yourself by any means necessary.
Well, I think the thing is, what you have to do is do a hand-tooled publicity campaign yourself.
Absolutely.
And you have to do it on every possible level.
Yeah.
You have to be relentless about it.
Yeah.
And the thing is, you have to have confidence in your film. You have to understand who is the audience for your film.
Yep.
Right.
Sure.
But I think, especially if you've got something that there is an audience of some sort for, that, you know, you can find that audience, and I think you can find it nowadays more easily than ever before.
Absolutely. It's easier to do that.
As you're aware, with a lot of these small distributors, they'll just they'll buy your film, they'll put it out there with 50 other movies that they're distributing, and they're not going to what I don't understand about that kind of a game plan is, like, they don't seem to understand where they may have something that's exceptional, that they could really, with a little of the right marketing, that they could make something bigger out of it. They could, you know, make people aware of this film beyond
most. That's their business model. That is their business model. Is we're not even going to look. We're just going to package. We're going to scoop this up with a net, and we're going to package. We're going to send you out with a bunch of different things, and that's why, you know, which brings me to that second point of why deal with that when, you know, again, it really comes down to the merit of whether people want to watch you or not. And what I mean by that is YouTube. You can have your YouTube channel in this day and age is essentially a personal broadcast station. I mean, we are literally broadcasting right now, and we are broadcasting. If somebody in France were to click on their smart TV right now, next to Hulu or Netflix or whatever they have, and click on YouTube and type in Frumess and open it up, they would see us right there on their flat screen smart TV right next to Titanic or Avatar or anything else. And it's just like, if you can get this monetized, then, you know, you can just have one evil partner instead of 3 middlemen trying to fuck you. You could just deal with Google instead of all the middlemen. And I'll tell you something, you know, I didn't start making money off of my creative work until I monetized my YouTube channel. And now I actually make money every month that pays some of my bills every month, my creative work. And it really taught me something, instead of, you know, because here's at the end of the day, a lot of these distribution contracts that we're talking about, they're validation. It's just validation. That's all it is, because you're not seeing any money. There's barely any money being made. It's more like, my thing is on this platform with every other thing. Whoopity do.
Well, a lot of these filmmakers, as you're probably aware, they're just grateful that their film is out there, and they're not even, you know, any thoughts of money. That's really kind of not their priority.
Yes, but my point is that like, they're allowing, but it's like they are allowing these companies to take money that's being made in exchange for being on, you know, these platforms. And what I think is kind of cool, or what I really like about YouTube, is that it's like sort of kind of punk rock, in the sense that, like, you literally, you know, there are some people that put their movies on their channel, and the movies rake up millions and millions of hits. And if they're monetized, they're making thousands of dollars. They're making thousands and thousands of dollars. And you want to know something? They didn't have to pay a middleman at all. All they did was upload their movie. And I just feel like, I just think it's so exciting, is what I think it is. I think it's really exciting. And I just, you know, I just don't see any reason at this point in time, with money guarantees gone, minimum guarantees are gone now. I just don't, like, what is the point? Because here's the thing. We talked about how it's not about the money, and you're right, it's not about the money, but at the same time, a sustainable system would at least allow a filmmaker to take money that they made from one movie and reinvest it into the next one. Because movies cost money.
But I mean, the thing is, I mean, it's a more level playing field now. It's still not really entirely level. The studios and the bigger companies still have they have the marketing, they have the publicity budget, they have the ability to attract name talent, you know, and they have this, you know, and they already have distribution locked in place. So it's you know, it's impossible to compete with that when you're, you know, just a tiny little film. I mean, but movies get through. Movies come out that you know, I mean, to tell the truth, this past Halloween has been remarkable for horror movies.
Terrifier 2, Terrifier 2,
which made for, like, depending on what version of the story I've read is true, anywhere from
250.
Yeah, that's what I heard. That was the other end of things. But even then, that kind of ratio hasn't happened in maybe, like, I don't know what, like 15, 20 years almost.
It's been a very long time. And I got to tell you something, and I've admitted this publicly before, not a fan of the first Terrifier. I watched it, was not my cup of tea personally. However, I am so happy for the filmmaker and the team and the crew. It's so nice to see somebody break through and see that word of mouth. It's beautiful. And even though it's not my cup of tea, I have a shit-eating grin, and I'm on the sideline just going, "Go baby, go baby, go!" Because I think it's just, I think it's tremendous. I think it's wonderful.
Yeah,
you know,
I mean, I personally, I enjoyed both the films.
I have not seen the second one yet. By the way, I've not seen the second one yet.